Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? How's your morning going?
How was my morning? Actually, today I'm so excited because I had such a good morning. I went to bed late, but I still got up. I had my coffee and I'm drinking it in my Create Change mug.
Got my
Yes.
big Yeti mug. Yeah.
Yeah, your Yeti mug. And I went outside and I grounded myself and I thought it was going to be cold, but it was actually 48 degrees. So the grass felt good, outside felt good. And I hopefully it'll stay that way after the podcast so I can go take a walk. But usually when I, go outside and ground myself, I post it and I put a quote with it.
Yeah.
And I want to read today's quote because it's so weird that it just came to me with this mug. And it says, growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wholeheartedly, I agree with that. God. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, right.
right. I was stuck for so many years, and looking back, like, I don't know if, I also find that we're not necessarily, ready to unstuck sometimes,
Yeah.
but when you are ready, being able to have the resources like you and I provide, which I love in just different ways to help you
Exactly.
get unstuck. Because girl, we've been there, right? Like, we get it. God, change. Yeah.
Exactly. And change is growth and nothing is
Yeah,
easy. That's what we all have to have, that mindset that nothing is easy. Whatever you want, it takes hard work and
it
nothing
does.
is easy. That's what we have. So
Yeah.
anyway, how was your morning?
My morning was good. I had one of those like sleep in kind of, I still woke up about the same time I do. Maybe I slept in like a half an hour, but I had a lot of those, when you're like kind of in between sleep and awake. So
Mhm.
you're not like, you don't feel like you're totally asleep, but you are in this trance.
Yeah,
I had a couple spells of that, which I love. I feel like even though I don't feel like I'm fully asleep, I do get some good rest. And but my mind was starting to spin out of control, and I was able to bring it back. And I think that's what happened, actually, which leads into what we're going to talk about today, which is a surprise for you. But I feel
yeah.
like my mind was starting to spin out of control, and I just started noticing my breath and really focusing on my breath. And what I do is I'll say, like, breathe in out in my head, so I have something else going on in my head so I can let those thoughts go. And that really kind of helps calm me down, and I think put me in like a trance like state. So
Yeah. I
that's
love that.
that's
I
what
know, I
happened.
love that. No, because it's distracting your mind. Because
Yeah.
even when I teach yoga, I say if your mind wanders, accept the thoughts, but then start saying in your head,
Yes.
inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
So then all those thoughts, you just focus back on the breath. So what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah. It I think it saved my life, quite
Yeah.
frankly. Like, just being in such a dark place years ago, and meditating and understanding, that the thoughts that go through your head are just thoughts, and you can let them go, but it's easier said than done. So really having the tools to kind of ground yourself, and yeah.
So let me ask you this question before we go into our topic today.
Yeah.
When you get up in the morning, do you lay around in bed or do you just jump out the minute you get up?
I I lay around for a little while. My dog usually, like, our heat goes on at like 5:30 in the morning. So I hear the heat go on. I know it's about 5:30, and I know I've got, an hour and a half before I really need to get up and get moving. And not that I need to get up and get moving, but I got stuff to do. So but he hears the heat go on too, and he starts crawling up my side, and puts his head
Okay.
on my pillow and snuggle, and we both just fall back to sleep. So
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah.
Because last night, I slept late because I was watching YouTube and listening to Bob Proctor. And he said,
I know him.
the minute you get up, you should wake up, you should jump out of bed and start your day.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself time in bed. Just get up and just start. So I was just wondering what your
You
habit
know,
was.
I have a kind of a rule that I need to get up and be outside. Like we take our dogs out, like, I don't know, somebody gets up with them early and takes them out to pee and feeds them. But I kind of have a rule that I need to be out the door with them at 7:30 to
Okay.
take them on their walk. So that kind of gets me started. I know I have one of Bob Proctor's books. I can send it to you if you want it. I've read it.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. So let's start today. What is the
That's,
surprise topic?
I, I
Yeah.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
talk about like woo and kind of the science of woo. And woo is kind of a derogatory term, woo woo, right?
Yeah.
Um, although we've all embraced it, so I actually like it, but it was really meant kind of derogatory. So we're going to talk a little bit of like why woo works.
That's awesome. I'm so excited because I have only heard the word woo from you. I've heard of woo woo, but I've heard you say woo. I
Yeah,
have no idea what it is. And I
right.
can't wait for this, knowledge to be given
Yeah.
to
So
me about it.
if you see me kind of like looking around, I taught a class on this in my paid group program, just because I think it's really important to understand like how our mind works. And that's really the science of woo, like how our mind works and how we kind of move about our space, the universe, and that type of thing. We're so much more connected than, I don't know, than the normal person ever think, even if they think that we're connected or not. I don't know what I'm saying there. We're all connected. And we need to understand that. And so like when I'm having a conversation with you, my intentions and thoughts are really important, and we can pick up other people's energy. Anyway, so this is what we're going to talk about.
Awesome. Let's go for it.
Okay, so when somebody says woo to you, what do you think? What does that mean to you?
Like woo woo would be like, I said, somebody says woo, it's like a positive thing, like a fancy thing. Ooh, la la, woo woo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's, is that totally wrong?
No,
Ooh, look at you, like,
yeah, I don't
ooh
think
la la.
anything's wrong. But
Yeah.
woo, it's a word for pseudoscience, right? Like the thoughts, the the thought that our thoughts can actually change our mindset, then can change the trajectory of our path in our life, I think is something that was denoted pseudoscience in the past, right? Like meditation and yoga and all those things. And you and I know that they work, but how do they work? And the how that they work has been kind of termed pseudoscience in the past. But there's been a lot of studies that have come out that show how positive affirmations change, up makeup of your brain. So that kind of stuff is what I mean by woo woo, right? Like,
So is woo like an affirmation? Is that what you're saying?
no, it's not an affirmation. It's just a term for a type of science that has been deemed bullshit.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Cool.
yeah.
All right. So woo generally is, one of my favorite men, Albert Einstein, talked about, like, he believed in energy. He's the one that said everything is energy. And he believed in the universe, and he believed that, we helped shape the universe and the universe helps shape us, and that everything is energy. Like, your cup of coffee is energy. But your thoughts also have an energy quality to them. We talk about vibration, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
about vibration. That is your energy. That is how you are showing up in the universe, right? Your vibrational frequency. So the one thing that I absolutely love, and I've seen evidence of this in my life as well, is when you're vibrating at a low energy frequency, right? Like you're in fear, you're in you're in anger, like all those lower vibrational frequencies. What you put out to the universe comes back to you, right? It's a big reflection. So that's why, you and I talk about positive affirmation. So this should be helpful to you so you can explain, like, why do we do this? Like, why do we want to have positive affirmations? Why do we want to be mindful of our thoughts? Because all of these things are attached to our vibration and the energy we put out there, and what you put out there comes back to you. So do you have a friend that, like, everything goes wrong for them?
I do. Everything goes wrong. Yeah,
Everything. And they
everything.
complain about it, right?
Exactly.
The world's out to get me, or like nothing goes right for me. So even saying those things puts that message out to the universe. And the universe is incredibly intelligent, but it doesn't necessarily understand that, like, okay, so I'm having a shit day and I'm telling everybody about this shit day I'm having. So I'm probably going to have a shit day tomorrow. The universe is like, oh, well, you must really love these shit days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling everybody about them, and you just continue to feel this way, right? Instead of doing anything about it. So it just gives you more of that.
Well, I feel like I was one of those people many years ago, always complaining. Oh
Yeah,
my
me
gosh,
too.
I have this, I have that. And I realized actually it's so cool that you're saying this, because we're always on the same vibration or same level somehow.
Yeah.
Last night, I was arguing with my husband and saying all this stuff. And then after we had the argument, I was like, oh shit, I'm lowering my vibration. I'm feeling all these things. I got to be happy again. And I totally thought of positive things and just changed myself right there. Like I can catch it now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When I feel like I've said all this stuff and it's wrong, and I'm like, no, because if I start going into that lower vibration, then everything I am working for with the higher energy and higher vibration won't come true, or I'm delaying it.
Well, yes, that is an amazing observation. The thing is, though, like, there's also kind of, I feel like this trauma response to us always having to be positive and happy, right? So you're allowed to feel through your emotions, just don't become them, right? That's what we say. Feel your emotion, don't become it. We all have bad days, and I don't think that is going to undermine, the 85% that you're positive and putting the good energy out there, right? But it is people that just every single day live in this doom and gloom. I mean, I did too. And I'm able to look back and see that my life, like, wasn't what I wanted it to be for many years, because I created that by putting that energy out there over and over and over and over again.
Exactly. Like, like what I was saying was, like, when I was going in after I argued with him, instead of letting go, I was starting to get those past and those stories up. Yes. That's when that's what happens. And that's what gets you into the hole, right?
Right.
You have to stop the circle of stories and past that come up once you have that low vibration.
That's right. And I'm like knee deep in this book right now that I can't stop listening to. And it's quantum physics, but it talks about how we're programmed, right? Our lives are so programmed. You get up and you get your same cup of coffee, right? You go to your same shitty job or whatever. Maybe you love your job, I don't know, but it's still like we're running on a program. And until we can change the program, we can never change the trajectory of our life.
Oh, wow. So then what do you suggest? If you're going through the same thing, what can you do to change?
Well, you can reach out and hire a coach to help you. But this is where the science of woo comes in, right? Okay. So I'm gonna let me just run to my document right here, because you guys can still see me. You can't see what I'm looking at. So right here, let me just read a quote. This is Albert Einstein. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So when we get in these just kind of negative mindsets, I think it's really important this is where self-care kind of comes in, right? It's super important for us to say, to check in with our body, maybe do some meditation. Meditation's amazing. Check in with our body. What do you need right now? Why are you angry? Right? This is, you and I journal a lot,
Yeah.
journaling about why we're having these thoughts and these patterns that continue to come up, and kind of working through them and journaling. But positive affirmations, let me find my piece on positive affirmations, because it does change. Positive affirmations. Okay, so let me read this to you.
Okay.
A study at the University of Pennsylvania confirmed that repeating positive affirmations produces physical changes in specific brain regions associated with self-processing. Positive affirmations didn't just make the subjects feel better, it actually altered brain networks that essentially wired in the feeling of those positive affirmations. Hence, the brain rose to the occasion to make the subject actually feel the feelings these affirmations brought. These brain changes were found to account for a subsequent change in the person's behavior.
Okay.
So there you go, right there. Just being around people who are where you want to be, right?
Yes.
Getting rid of your toxic friends. And honestly, once you start getting with the friends that are where you want to be, those toxic friends fall away, because they're just,
They just disappear.
They do.
They're just, you don't even need to say goodbye or quit
You don't have to do a
relationships.
thing.
It just happens. It's awesome.
It
And
is.
you get excited to meet these new people that are in the same vibration as you. It's just so
Yeah.
amazing. You just wake up and you're like, I can't wait to meet these people or talk to these people.
And you know what's so amazing? I have to say, like, I've done two major investments in my life. One was in, my first coaching program to like learn how to move throughout the world, because I wasn't doing it correctly. And then the second one was semi-passive income, this huge group of women. And, I have all these tools at my fingertips on, how to create evergreen programs, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But what the thing that I got most out of both of those groups were the connections, was the network of people, because we are all striving for the same thing, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of all, vibrating at the same level for the most part. If somebody's having a shit day, like, oh my God, I'm like stuck, I can't get through this. I've got like 2,000 women in this group that will be right there to say, I got you. What do you need? Let's jump on a call. So, investing in these programs, sometimes it's almost not necessarily about the content. It's about getting yourself in with the group of people that are so like-minded that you can't help but be successful.
Exactly. That's why I love groups.
Yeah.
It's just so nice because there's always those people that you can connect with, and like you said, you're all wanting and striving for the same thing. So you just, everything they say, you're like, I've been thinking about that. Oh my gosh, that's what I believe in too. And you're like, these are my people. And you just feel so good.
Yeah. It's fun. Where I work at Whole Foods now, and one of my managers, she's like, I was telling her what I do, like in my other life, I teach emotional intelligence and a lot of woo. And oh my gosh, she's like my new best friend at work. She's like, I'm into all this stuff. I literally have 0 people I can talk to about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So she's like, I feel like you were sent here just for me.
That's
right?
awesome. Have her join your group.
Yeah. I should have her join my group. Yeah.
Because that's what I do. Like, for my courses, while you're taking my courses, you're also part of a group. And then when you finish the courses, you still get to stay in the group.
You get to stay in the group. Absolutely.
So you still have those connections. And I've been seeing how the ladies are forming friendships with each other.
That's so important. It's so powerful, and they'll be friends forever.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So what else can I tell you about? Oh, you know what? Something I learned about, and I honestly didn't know this. I'm not like, I like crystals and stuff, but I was never like really into them. So let me read you a piece from Crystals and Your Chakras. This just never dawned on me. So every crystal, just like every human, has a different energetic frequency. It depends on a few different factors like the size, the composition, and most helpfully, the color. Why does crystal color matter? The colors we see are specific light frequencies. Red, for example, has a much lower frequency than purple. The same goes for our own bodies. If you look at the chakra diagram, the lowest chakra, the root chakra, is shown in red, which aligns with the low vibrational frequency of that chakra. So your crown chakra, on the other hand, is shown in purple as it's the highest vibration chakra and the highest vibration color. So nature follows that pattern with crystals.
Awesome.
Isn't that kind of cool?
I love that. Yeah, I have crystals. I put them away somewhere. I should get them out.
Right. So like your amethyst is purple, so that aligns with your crown chakra.
Yeah, I love that. I took a online course. It was like a day course. Took about a couple hours on how I can look at people when I'm in person with them,
Yeah.
and see their aura.
Ooh, can you do that?
Yeah, like if you're in person with me, I can stare and I can see your color, whether it's yellow or white or purple. My dad was bald, so I always used to do it with him because I could see his light better because he had no hair and it would just shine.
That's super cool. I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah, it was really cool because you can tell people's moods and how they
Yeah.
are. And sometimes I would look at people and I would be like, oh my gosh, they're all red, which
So
is
that's, tell me about that. What did red mean?
I have to look it up.
Well, from what I just read you, that would be kind of a lower vibrational frequency.
Yeah, it was like anger. Not happiness. Yes.
Right.
Yes. White is purity.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the purple is more calm. So it was really cool.
Can you see my aura just from Zoom?
No, because it's all the lighting and stuff. So I wouldn't be able to see it. It has to be like against a white wall,
right,
or against something that's pure in the back so you can see it. It's really like a big rainbow halo type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something else. You ready?
Yeah, tell me.
Let me find, Nikola. So here's just another quote, and this is Nikola Tesla. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So, and then he also said the brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. So he not only, believed in the universe, energy, frequency, vibration, but also in what Carl Jung coined, like a collective consciousness, right? Where we're just all connected. Actually, he talked about a collective unconsciousness. So according to him, the collective unconscious is made up of a collection of knowledge and imagery that every person is born with and is shared by all human beings due to ancestral experience. So though humans may not know what thoughts and images are in their collective unconscious, it is thought that in moments of crisis, the psyche can tap into the collective unconsciousness. So he just talks about how we are all connected. So, when I say all the time, and you do too, everything you need is already inside of you.
Yes, exactly.
So when you meditate and you can get into, a bit of a transcendental state, that's when you are more able to connect into this collective consciousness, right? So that's like when I tell you, you need to surrender, right? We were talking about that. You need to surrender. You need to detach from the outcome because you are running on a program, right? You are programmed to get your same freaking coffee every morning, to drive your same car to your same job, to come home, to eat your dinner, to watch your TV program, go to bed and do it all over again. So when you do have times of crises or, a problem that's coming up that you just are so fearful about, right? You get into this anxiousness, this fear of the future. That's why it's so super helpful to be able to sit in your closet or, I don't know, your corner, wherever you do, to tap into just silence, because that's where you can find the answers to your questions from the collective consciousness, because we're all connected. So you can tap into this just amazing universe of resources. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And let me ask you, is this what you're talking about? Like you're saying, like, we're programmed to like have our coffee, get up, go for a walk, whatever. So is that why, like, if you go out to lunch with your friends or if you go on vacation, all of a sudden your vibrations get rise and you feel so different because you're not doing your daily program,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
100%.
So you have to
Yeah.
change around a little bit
Change. Yeah.
to like wiggle and adjust your vibrations and your energy so you can
Yes.
keep on moving forward.
Yeah. Well, what happens too is like, so when any problems do arise,
Uh-huh.
you fall back on your old programming to solve that problem, right?
Okay, right.
And maybe you have never been able to effectively solve that problem, right? So a pattern keeps coming up, like the same, you get stuck in the same pattern, the same problem keeps coming up over and over, and you're never able to quite solve it because you have such a limited view of how to solve it because you are running on this limited program. So being able to connect to the greater consciousness, and I literally will sit and just say, oh yeah, this shit's coming up again, or it's a new problem, and I will just release it. I'll ask my angels, spirit, universe, all of them,
Yeah.
whatever support I can get, that hey, this is going on. Not that I have to tell you, because um, let's find a solution to it. I'm offering it up, and just start paying attention again to that magic, right? Those signs that come up, that thought that all of a sudden comes up that might be the answer to your solution.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Wow, yeah.
It's a
So
lot.
yeah, so if people were like, give me 3 points of how to use Woo or how can help Woo help me, what would you give them?
First of all, positive affirmations, right?
Okay,
Always
yes.
have a toolbox full of, like, this was going on in my head this morning. I don't know, like, I can't even tell you what I was thinking of, but it wasn't necessarily great thoughts. My mind was just running away. And just being able to have the positive confirmations, like, I have to say, I'm safe all the time. I have this feeling of not being safe. So, I am safe, I'm an amazing divine human, right? Things like that. Um, just whatever's coming up for you, just try to flip it around. Just go on Google and look for positive affirmations and grab a couple that really speak to you and have them in your wheelhouse. So when these negative thoughts do come up, you're able to replace them. And just as we read is the study from University of Pennsylvania, it does change your brain to help you start thinking more positively. So
Okay,
yeah. So,
awesome.
okay, tip number one. Tip number two, what would I do? I would, I think understanding is probably tip number two, understanding that you're human and that you are running on this program, and maybe look for ways to look at things from a different perspective, right? Reach out to somebody, talk to them. Hey, this is coming up for me. What are your thoughts on it? Or I don't know, maybe someone that's been in a similar situation. So just reaching out and connecting to other people, and trying to see things from a different perspective. And then number three, surrender. Just
Yeah,
offer that shit up. Because
awesome.
you worrying about it will 100% make it worse.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Well, this was awesome.
Yeah. Did
Now
you
I know
like it?
what woo is. I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's making me more aware. Each time I listen to you and learn something from you, I become more aware of what's happening and how I should, the tools I need in
Yeah.
my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
the tools. I think they're tools.
They are tools, and awareness. I like that word. I probably would have used that instead of like understanding, like awareness of just what's going on around you. We become so self-absorbed and self-focused that we think everything that's going on around us has something to do with us. And it doesn't
Exactly.
necessarily.
Exactly. We need to step back and be the onlooker a lot of times to
The
solve problems.
observer.
The
Yeah.
observer, that's it. Yeah. Because sometimes we just get into the problem and then we're just sucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. So
I
this
know,
was
this has been great.
this is so great. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is I have a list of affirmations actually. So I'll post it
I'll
in the
post them.
notes. Yes. So we'll post the affirmations in the notes so everybody can go into the notes and check the affirmations out.
Well, before we go, tell me like your top three affirmations.
My top three affirmations. I will not feel overwhelmed.
Ooh.
Yes. I will start thinking positive,
Mhm.
because sometimes I get into that negative track, and I'm amazing and I can do anything.
Oh, I love that.
I say that to myself because then it just raises my vibrations and it just makes me be like, I can go do it. Whether I have a block or anything else, I'm just going to go do it. I'm just do it. It gives me that energy to just do it.
I'm just going to add one before we go. This just came to me because this was so powerful for me when my world felt like it was falling apart. I had read a book by Gabby Bernstein, and she said, like, when these negative thoughts come in your head and stuff, just tell yourself, I choose peace instead.
Oh, I love that. That's so calming.
Yeah.
I choose peace instead.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Instead of this, whatever is going on, I choose peace.
Yeah. Love that.
So
So,
cool.
ladies, that was the Woo podcast by Kate. She did a great job. I learned so much. I hope you did too. Please subscribe, please share, please listen, please follow, whatever, because we love doing this and serving you in the best way that we can. Right, Kate?
Right. Yeah. This brings me joy. We need to have
Yeah.
more joy.
Exactly. We have a lot of great speakers coming up too.
We do. All of mine are British.
They are.
Not all of them. A lot of them. Yeah. Because of that group I'm in, they're all British.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Downton Abbey coming to our podcast.
Talking quantum physics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, love. Always good. And yeah, everybody listen
Awesome.
to our podcast.
Talk
Love
to you
you.
later. Bye.
Bye.